Welcome to the Empowered Podcast with Deanna Merlino, an all-encompassing personal development show where I will be sharing with you just how to transform yourself into the best version of you, both inside and out. From wellness, entrepreneurship, spirituality, and manifestation, I'll be showing you exactly how to live your best life. I will be keeping it as real and raw as it gets. So get ready to peel back the layers and really transform yourself under the surface. Because nothing is better than finding your purpose and living this life as your true, authentic self. Welcome back, Empowered fam. If you are a loyal listener, you may have realized that there was no episode on Monday. And I honestly think that might be the first time, if not the second, but I think it's the first time since this podcast has been airing for 3 seasons. And I honestly intended on sharing a episode of a interview that I did. I've been doing a lot of interviews and I've been wanting to share the ones that were super aligned with the podcast, and the timing just didn't line up right. And I was in Ohio visiting my childhood best friends on a mini vacation over the weekend. And old me would have panicked and stopped everything and gotten an episode recorded. And I was like, no, I'm just not going to do that. I didn't feel like it. I was going to hold my boundaries and just enjoy the weekend. And it really honestly just goes to show how much work I've been doing on my subconscious and healing old patterns that are no longer serving me. I very much run in perfectionism, and old me would have spiraled and been like, well, now the podcast will be ruined and my perfect track record will be ruined and all of the different things. But none of that went through my head. I just literally contacted my podcast company and was like, hey, I will have an episode to you on Monday. I've been out of town, and we'll just send over the episode and launch it on Tuesday. So here we are. If you are not subscribed to the podcast, you might not hear this normally on Monday anyhow, and you might have no idea what I'm even talking about. So either way, I wanted to share that. And it also ties very much into what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to be so honest. I just kept being like, what am I going to talk about? And normally I have a lifetime supply of things that I can share with you all, but I felt like the creative juices were just not on. And so really, I want to talk about what to do when you're not feeling on, right? Like when you feel like the juices aren't flowing, when you're feeling like it would be forceful to make something happen. And I literally just said to my husband, I don't know if I need to go to the gym and what to just get myself in the zone. But then I'm like, no, that would make me more tired. And I just don't think that's it. And he said, maybe just take a break. And at first I was like, yeah, I could do that. And then I was like, wait, or I could just show up and be authentic in how I'm feeling and share this with you guys, because I think it's so important to know that it's okay to not always be on. And we're going to talk about some of the reasons for that, what that may be, and some things that you can do to fix that, some things that I do. So I hope this episode really resonates with some of you, either something you're going through or have gone through or may go through. So this is going to be an episode that is a great thing to come back to when you're just feeling kind of blah, or I don't feel stuck, but if you're feeling stuck, or if there's just no creative juices flowing, right? And so, okay. So first of all, let's just zone out a little bit and put some things into context for me. I just went on a mini vacation. I am very energy sensitive. So I was obviously around people, and it was a full moon weekend, and there was just the 222 energy portal. And so the energy is just really high. We were just being bombarded with cosmic influx of energy. So our systems are tired. I know that there's nothing wrong. There's nothing I need to fix. It just is, right? And so I think sometimes it's really so important to kind of just honor that too. I think we get into these cycles of if I'm not feeling on, if I'm not feeling 100%, if I'm not feeling like my normal self that I normally ideally aspire to be, how can I fix it? What's wrong? What can I do? Do nothing, just sit, just be present with it, just honor it, just see it, just respect it. Just know that we are multi-dimensional beings, And there are so many different things at play that are affecting our energy levels and our creativity and our ability to express ourselves and be open to receive ideas and sharing. And there's just so much stuff, so many things, right? And I, so it actually kind of all ties into like, aside from the fact, like, oh, that's what I was going to say. Aside from me just coming back for that mini vacation, we're getting ready to go on a full blown vacation in a week. And so my schedule is very specific. I closed down part of my schedule for both vacations so that I could be mindful of my own energy and enjoying myself, and also still being there for especially my one-on-one clients, but in a way that felt good for both of us. And so I'm like in that in between phase of, yes, I'm still working. I also just took some time off. I also have stuff to do to prepare, because when I'm in Jamaica, I want to just be so present to the experience. And so I really think that's a lot of what's going on. But to go back to what I was starting to say is, with these energetics, they're crazy right now. Like inside of my Empowered Emporium monthly membership, I just had a live healing call last night. If you're unfamiliar with that membership, the Empowered Emporium membership has multiple tiers, and there's one tier for only $33 a month. You get access to 2 live bi-weekly healing sessions a month. And then you also get the recordings. And then the other tier is the full access tier for only $55 a month. You get those 2 live biweekly healings. You get all of the recordings. You get access to a community. You get all of my courses, all of my programs. You get the entire vault of my guided meditations and journal prompts. And so it is such a affordable way to get in that personal development and healing and growth in the community, and have a little bit of access to me at a very affordable price point. So if you're not in there yet, definitely get in there. But in the call last night, we were talking not only about the 222 portal, but the fact that there is the full moon that we just had. And again, if you're not super familiar with full moons and portals and like eclipses and all these things, the energy runs a few days before and a few days after. And so with this full moon in Virgo, the energy is very much about emotions and old wounds and old versions of ourselves and old patterns, old habits, all of this being asked to be seen. At the time of the full moon, it was opposite Saturn, which is the planet asking us to look at, sift through, and heal our shit. And so we are just very much in it right now. So there is the 222 blasting us with all this energy. And then there's that full moon where the energy is amplified here with our wounding and old patterns and all of this. And also, it is currently Pisces season for the next month or so. And that is a water sign. So again, it's all about emotions in our old relationships, relationship with self, like all of these things are at play, and it is heavy and it's a lot. And so what I have noticed is that so many of my clients right now are going through it. And this is why mentorship and coaching is so important, so that you're just not sitting in this by yourself. You have someone to guide you through the flames. You have someone who's been through the fire there to help you through the fire. And really, I think that comes down a lot to why I'm feeling this as well, is because I have more clients than I've ever had at this time. And I love it. And I'm so excited and I'm so grateful. I am not even remotely complaining. But my point is because and mind you, my clients are thriving. They are like, their results are almost even mind boggling to me. Like, I love it for them. I am their biggest cheerleader. I am that girl who will cheer on anyone that I see doing good, and I wholeheartedly mean it. And I love nothing more than to be the one holding the hand of the people who are thriving. Like, I love being in that space. I'm so honored by it. And so as my clients are going through it, because you have to sift, you have to be willing to do the uncomfortable work in order to truly heal and thrive and reprogram and to really just amplify all the goodness in your life. There's no way through it but through it. And those are the people that are willing to go through it. And so I have just been holding so much space for others that I am by no means tired. Like, again, I'm good. Nothing's off. I'm just putting my energy into being there for my clients that I, at this time, don't really have the creative energy to be creating new. And I knew that was going to happen because it wasn't in my cards. Like when I did that psychic reading for the year, I was very much told I was going to slow down and go within for myself and my clients. And that is exactly what's happening. And I'm honoring that process. I also want you to know it's 222 as I'm talking about this. And so just really, I'm just being present. That's the thing is a lot of times I'm very forward focused and very future focused on what's next. I'm just being in the moment with myself and with my clients, and it's beautiful and it's perfect and it's amazing. And so, again, I want you to, if you're just not feeling like the lights are on in the sense of like being super, again, creative. I can't think of a better word that I'm looking for. Like, I am someone who tends to create all the time, whether it's content, sharing stories, podcast episodes, creating courses, creating programs, creating offerings. I have zero desire to create anything right now. I just want to sit in it. I am enjoying sitting in it because I know that is required in the process. And I know that the faster that you sit with that, the faster that you're going to have the breakthrough. And it's not even so much about going fast, but I just know that's how it goes. When I sit with it and I don't fight it and I just go with the flow of the ocean, of the water, of the waves in this watery sign of energy that we're going through, then I'm going to come out to the other side that much better and that much easier instead of trying to fight the tides. That's just not worth it. And so another thing too is I've really been focused on getting back into the gym. And that's something that I had put on the back burner in order to make all of these projects possible, in order to grow my business and get to a more stable place. And that was a choice that I made and I was okay with. And now I am focusing back again on my health and wellness. And so we only have so much life force energy. We only have our sacral chakra is both our creative chakra. It is our life. It is the life force energy within us that we use to create life and ideas and artistic expression and output and all of this beautiful, juicy goodness. And so as I am putting my life force energy into holding space and into healing and growing and just expanding on my physical and mental wellness and all these things, that again means that energy has to be moved from something else. And so at this moment, I think that is why the embers are there, but the fire isn't blazing. And I just want to say that that is okay. I want you to honor whatever season that you are in. And in honoring that, you will get the lesson so much faster, right? You will get the healing so much faster. You will get the goodness so much faster, and easier and more aligned and more peacefully and more freely. Like just just stop forcing. I think that's what I'm trying to say. This is a long-winded way of saying it's time for us to stop forcing. It's time for us to stop relying on that masculine energy of do, go, 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 push, 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 bust down the wall. How do I make this happen? How do I, all of these things, when really we are all collectively being called to just slow down, be present, be with self, focus on healing, giving yourself the love and attention and compassion and understanding, and be really being in this reflective state. And I think that's where, and it's not just about having the awareness, it's about marrying the two, right? That's where that masculine energy and that feminine energy really blend together so perfectly is, yes, have that awareness. Yes, do that reflection. And when you feel the call, like don't stay there. Don't get stuck there. Don't get stuck in your shadows. But once you feel ready and you'll know, trust your intuition, then actively take the action of letting go and releasing and healing and moving forward. It's a two-way street. There needs to be both. There needs to be the surrender and the reflection and the sitting with it. And then there needs to be action. That's how you manifest your reality. That's how you get the things that you desire. That's how you grow the way you want to grow. That's how you heal the way you desire to heal. That's the process. And so I'm just really in the process right now. And so after you look at your scenario and see, okay, why might I be feeling this way? And once you have honored feeling this way, and once you have sat with feeling this way, what are some things that you can do to kind of switch gears, right? For me, I'm going to go to the gym after this. I'm going to let that life force energy flow through my body and re-energize and rejuvenate and really just feel good in my body. I'm going to get some red light therapy. I am going to do some the hydrotherapy massage. I am going to then nourish my body with a healthy meal that it wants and will feel good and just really re-nourish myself after I go work out. Another thing you can do is take some time to do creative things, whether that's drawing, whether that's singing, whether that's dancing, whether that's playing. Just do creative outlets, do creative expression. I love to sing in the shower and I love to sing in the car. I will probably jam out on my radio on the way to the gym and on the way home. I haven't really drawn in a while, so I'm not going to do that. I don't feel called to that right now, but I'm probably going to do some journaling tonight and really just see what comes out. I'm going to take a hot bath tonight. If you have been here for a while, you know that energy baths are my thing. They are my non negotiable, they are my favorite. Taking a hot energy bath that I have set the intention over the water to remove all negative energy and to bring healing to my body and to just transmute all of that lower energy into a higher frequency and allow myself to be an energetic magnet to all that my heart desires, raising my frequency with some Epsom salt and just sitting in the bath and letting the element of the water just wash it away. Let the salt just withdraw all of the impurities from my system. And knowing that all of that energy, any energy that is not mine, this is so important, especially when you hold space for people. So, me as a coach and me as a teacher teaching people energetics, it's so important that I continuously clear my energetic field. Again, especially after the full moon and I went out of town and I was around all these energies, clearing my field of energies that are not mine so that it is not affecting my headspace. It is not affecting my thoughts, my emotions, all of that. It all has to go. Another thing with movement is I will always love the somatic shaking, the shamanic shaking, putting on a song and just shaking out my entire system from head to toe, just shaking, 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 and getting all out of my fascia, getting it all out of my system. Anything that is no longer serving me has to go. I might do some breath work. Breath work is a really great way. That's what I did last night in the membership. As we were being called to do all this healing is such a great way to get old pain and wounds and trauma out of my system. I actually have a mentorship call tonight with a client who she's going through it, and we're going to do some deeper work on this. And so it's just all connected, right? So if you're feeling off, just look where you may be leaking your energy. Look where you need to call your energy back. Look where you can create more of your own energy through creative means. See if there are relationships that are out of alignment, whether that's friendships, whether that's family, whether that's, romantic or otherwise. Again, my mom and I love her dearly. I am helping her with a kitchen renovation project and we just have very different. I'm a very positive person. She doesn't tend to be the most positive person. And so that energy, I was in that all weekend. So it's just like, of course, my battery is not at 100%. And so I know where that came from. So with you, really check in. Where might this be coming from? Right. So there's so many ways that we can see where we're leaking energy, where we can call back our energy and where we can raise our energy. And also, like with foods, make sure with your foods, you're eating foods that are good for you. Try and eat organic, colorful fruits and vegetables. Make sure you're getting sleep. Sleep is so important. Sleep is so important. I have to get back on my proper sleeping schedule over the weekend again because the full moon, I kept waking up in the middle of the night. I wasn't sleeping great. And so all of that plays a role in just feeling off. It all ties together. I assure you, it all ties together. One thing that I've really been being mindful more of is my water as well. We are what I can't think at the moment, but I'm going to say we're 80% water. If we are 80% water, then that means what's in our water is affecting us so highly. Make sure your water is so, so, so clean. We just got a new water filter. It already tastes so much better. It like filters out all of the impurities and then it also re-adds back in all the minerals that you need. It is alkaline balanced. So just where can you focus on your wellness? All of these things are going to tie together and are going to improve your energy and your output and your ability to receive. And so I think that's it for today's episode. Just wanted to share with y'all where I'm at and know that if you've been going through it, you're not alone. There is a reason and some things you can do to help. I just heard in my head to make sure you utilize things like teas as well. I've been drinking lots and lots of teas, all of the good herbal remedies in the tea to help cleanse your organs. And again, more water, more all of it. It all plays a role. So with that being said, I hope you are all doing amazing. Know that this heavy energy is passing and it will pass. And the next time, so actually next week's episode is going to be the interview that I was talking about at the beginning of this podcast. That will be what I release next Monday. And then the next time you hear from me alone and live, it's probably going to be from Jamaica. And that has me really excited. I just know that I am going to come back from Jamaica an extremely elevated, amplified, re-energized version of myself that I just cannot wait to see. I just know what this is going to do for me. And so I can't wait to share any insights that I have with you, any downloads. I have a feeling that I'm going to probably create something new from my experience and time in Jamaica. So super, super exciting. I actually will just take a moment to drop that. If you want to get into my energetic mentorship container, that you're going to want to do it now. I am getting ready to add some things to the mentorship that are going to be really amazing and exciting. Think in person, think retreat, think VIP days. So all different stuff for the different levels. The higher you commit to mentorship with me, obviously, the more cool things that are going to be included. But point being, I'm sharing this with you. If you have been on the fence, do it now because the price will also be going up to reflect that. But anyone who gets in after this episode is released, I will honor that for the next, we'll say by time I'm back from Jamaica. Between now and Jamaica, anyone who gets into my mentorship will still get the included additives that I add at this price point. After that point, it will go up to account for the fact that I'm adding in some really amazing, juicy, impactful, powerful, transformational in-person aspects. So I was really excited for that. Send you all so much love. I hope you have the best day, the best week ever. And I will see you next week on the Empowered with Deanna Merlino podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. If you want to find out more, you can follow me on Instagram at Empowered with Deanna and my personal page, Fit Deanna Lolita. You can also visit me on my website, which is deannamerlinofit.com. Make sure that whatever platform you guys are listening on, please rate and subscribe. And this means so much to me. It's going to help get me out there to help so many other people. I'm so grateful that you're here with me on this journey of wellness and self-empowerment. I cannot promise that it will always be easy, but I do know that it will always be worth it. Stick with me, and together, let's start living as the version of us that we were meant to be. Because the world is waiting for your gifts, and you deserve to live the life of your wildest dreams and beyond. So friends, let's get empowered.